Welcome to the Never a Phase Q&A, coming at you from my backup studio. My studio downstairs decided not to work today, but that's okay. I still got a great interview with the guys from My Side of Paradise. But before we get to that, let's get some of the paperwork out of the way. Today's show is brought to you by Eargasm Earplugs. Eargasm produce high-fidelity earplugs which reduce noise up to 21 decibels while maintaining audio clarity, so you can still hear everything around you. They're perfect for concerts, festivals, or any loud environment where you want to protect your hearing but not miss a thing. Get yours today at eargasm.com and use code EMO10 to save 10%. This show is a part of the Never a Phase Network, a collective of creators dedicated to keeping the spirit of the scene alive. Our network of creators make social media content, they share music news and reviews, and of course bring you great podcast content. For more information, please visit neveraphasenetwork.com and follow Never a Phase Network on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. All right, let's start the show. My guests tonight are from Southern California, guys who grew up living and breathing emo, but now they're channeling their passion into something totally their own. Yes, after tearing up stages across the country with their wildly successful cover band called Emo Kids, now they're going to write their own story. They've released a string of original singles like I've Got Time and Roulette, recently had a very raw and intense look at fame culture in Southern California with the song Lost and Angelus, and now they're taking it to another level with their brand new single All My Exes, featuring Bowling for Soup's very own Jarrett Reddick. It's a tongue-in-cheek and self-aware breakup anthem that shows that, sometimes your exes weren't the problem, you were the problem. They've got heart and they've got hooks, and now they're carving out their own place in the emo revival. Please welcome My Side of Paradise.
Hey, thanks so much for having us, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Yes. Welcome to the show. So for anyone that does not know, has not heard you guys yet, I just want to do a little bit of bio and then get into the single. You guys have a cover band called Emo Kids. How long have you been doing that, and what transitioned us into My Side of Paradise?
We started in early 2023. Is that right, Sam? Emo Kids?
Yeah. I guess that would be right. With the inception of it, I think it was like 2022 with some of us. But then with the five of us, have been yeah.
Emo Kids has only existed since early 2023, but Sam and I and some of the other members have actually played in a cover band prior to that. But yeah, Emo Kids Genesis is early 2023.
Okay, and so were you guys? So I come at this, 20 years ago was playing in bands, and now we've had this sort of resurgence. Were you guys in the scene before that? Have you done original bands before, or did you jump straight into sort of the nostalgia of Emo Kids?
Man, you really dated us right there by saying
I know, man.
20 years ago. Why'd you got to say it like that? No. Yeah.
Back in my day.
Yeah, right.
My heyday, so I played the first year at Taste of Chaos. I was one of the opening act bands, so that's literally 2005.
Yeah.
So that's how far back I go.
I grew up in the pop punk emo culture for sure. I was kind of in a pop punk band really first in high school, and I graduated in early in the 2000s, and then the emo stuff kind of I would say kind of took over a little bit more than pop punk, or at least it became more of a thing. And so my band, we actually kind of had a second band, and then it turned into more of an emo band than we kind of had pop punk roots. But I was already out of high school by that point. We toured the country. Some of us played in Warped Tour, different things like that. But Sam's actually really new to the emo culture. I think really he grew up. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but he grew up in like Van Halen and ska, and then I'm not sure what brought him over to emo, but maybe you could tell us.
Well, I was big into it in Warped Tour. I just never really played it. Like I was super into all the bands that we're covering now, and like who are influencing My Side of Paradise as well. But I just I kind of come from a really small town. There wasn't a huge emo culture out there. It was just kind of like what everybody else wanted to hear we played. I mean, there were like a total of like 7 musicians that were playing in bands back in my high school, so there wasn't a whole lot to choose from. So nobody was really into emo. But like Warped Tour, like that was. I grew up kind of outside of Boise, so when that came to Boise every summer, that's when we all became big emo and pop punk fans. It's like, oh shit, this is exactly what we've been waiting for all year. And so, yeah, no, it's just like the idea of doing it as a cover band is like, oh, this is reminding me of high school. It's all nostalgic, and it's kind of what everybody else is kind of feeling. Is this is kind of like is resurging right now.
There's a ska show on our network too, so we could always flip over and talk ska at some point.
Yeah,
awesome.
Don't invite me to that. Don't invite me to that podcast. You could have Sam.
I think I'll be the only one from the band that'd be interested, but that's all right.
Yeah, but Sam always says that I hate everything that he plays in the van.
Yeah, he totally does. He does. Yeah. Well, I'm usually the driver, so I'll put on like past time. I'll put on jam bands and shit, just songs that last for like 35 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And
I just tune him out and I work in the back, so it's fine.
In this day and age, everyone can have their own earbuds and things like that, and we can all have our own things.
Not when I'm driving. Yeah, it's all right.
No. So I obviously want to talk about the new single, but what made the transition then? Obviously, you guys are still doing Emo Kids, but there was a desire to do originals, do your own music. When did that start, and how did we sort of make that transition?
Yeah, actually, I don't think any of us set out to write original music or be in an original band. I mean, again, we're talking 20 years ago when we were doing the band thing, and it was kind of like, it was kind of random. We're like, hey, do you want to play in a band? Actually, I met Sam because he was in an emo cover band in my town that I was living in at the local bar, and I saw him and I was like, hey man, if you ever need a drummer, like let me know because I know all these songs already. And he's like, this is our drummer's last show, and that's kind of how I joined up with Sam. That's how we met is because he was already in an emo cover band, but. We took this across the country and we're having a lot of fun with it. I mean, again, we love all this music. We have so much fun playing it and seeing crowds love every second of it as well. I mean, we started doing this because we feel like this music needs to be live, and there's obviously like the emo nights and all these DJs and stuff, but we really feel like that's not really doing the genre justice. So we focus on bringing a high quality, high level, high energy live performance of all the same songs that you would hear at an emo night, but just live. But to answer your question, we were doing this across the country and we kept getting asked literally everywhere, like, do you guys have any original music? You guys have any original music? And I think the reason they ask is again, because we try to bring a really, really high level, high quality music to all of these songs that we play. So I think they're interested in like, oh, cool. Well, you said you guys play these songs really well. You must have original music. We're like, no, we don't have any music. We just play covers. But I think we kind of got.
Would you like to hear another Taking Back Sunday song? No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think we kind of got like not like annoyed, but we're like, well, maybe we should write some songs, then, because people keep asking us. And so, yeah, like a year ago, we did like a writing session in Joshua Tree and came up with the songs that are out. Actually, the song that's coming out tomorrow is the last song that we recorded or wrote last year, and we're actually going into another writing session in a week and a half or something like that, Sam?
Yeah, a week on. We're going next Saturday. Stoked.
So we're gonna be riding up in Lake Arrowhead. We kind of like want to get secluded into certain places. That's why we chose Joshua Tree. The next time we chose Lake Arrowhead. It's kind of like a nice little mountain cabin. So we're gonna lock ourselves in there and really focus on riding. And it always helps because everyone has jobs and families and this, that, and the other, and so we really get to just kind of bury ourselves. And Sam actually bought a dry erase board that I was giving him shit about, but it was actually one of the best tools that we had up there. I was monopolizing the board. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, we started writing just because everyone loved the Emo Kid show, and obviously I think a lot of our music is just inspired by all the songs that we have been playing through Emo Kids.
So you guys are getting secluded. You got to go away from all the distractions. And just before we talk more about the singles that you do have out, do you find that helps the writing process? You talk about the big board. Does it look like a conspiracy theory board by the time you guys are done? Or
yeah, we have a picture of it somewhere. I think
it's on the Instagram. You can definitely see it.
Is it?
I think I'm not sure how many posts ago, but yeah, it's on there. And yeah, it looks like Charlie Day, like that famous
the red
meme.
string.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, if you read it, you would have no idea what it means. It's like literally code words and like tempos and keys. Like literally, it's just like, what am I reading? So yeah, it's pretty funny, but it's super helpful for sure.
it's a big achievement for you guys, especially you have a few singles out, but you're building right now your songbook,
For sure.
and to basically, like I said, breaking the fourth wall here tonight. Essentially, you're releasing the new song with Jarrett Reddick, "All My Exes."
Yeah.
How'd you guys get hooked up with Jarrett, and what did the recording and writing of "All My Exes" look like?
Yeah, I mean, again, we wrote that, a year ago before Jarrett Reddick was, even
Oh,
a hope, right? But yeah, Emo Kids has afforded us quite a lot of opportunity, just because of the nature of what we're doing, right? We get to meet these artists that are great. We get to meet people like you, and it's just been great. We actually got invited to a show through Thomas Ian Nicholas, and he does like the American
oh,
Pie emo nights. And he was
oh,
doing stuff around Southern California, and he actually, funny enough, which is weird because he lives down here and we live down here in Southern California, but he played with Summer Street in Hawaii. I think maybe they were playing with Wheatus or something. I can't really remember, but he Thomas Ian Nicholas hit up Scott from Summer Street, and then Scott asked me if Thomas Ian Nicholas could have our number. We're like, yeah, sure. We started a relationship. We took him to Nashville, on tour with us. I think Tennessee, a couple dates, and then South Carolina.
South Carolina. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I don't remember that that show.
yeah.
But
with Thomas.
yeah, Thomas
Yeah.
actually he
Oh,
opened for us, and we played a couple shows with him. But then we just started a relationship, and that guy's super hardworking. I mean, I don't even know where on the world he is right now, but
Yeah.
he knew Bowling for Soup, he knew Jarrett Reddick, and then we had an opportunity through Thomas Ian Nicholas's friend or something like that, a booking agent, to do a show for WrestleMania, like a post WrestleMania show this last time in Las Vegas, and and Jarrett Reddick has a
You're
song
speaking
like
all my languages now.
right.
No.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
a show or a song called Alexa Bliss. I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
But he was on the show. Thomas Ian Nicholas was on the show, and we got invited on the show as well. And we're like, I'm not sure who brought it up, but Jarrett Reddick ended up singing a couple songs with us. One of them was Harvey Danger, where we actually had Thomas Ian Nicholas come up on stage with us. But then we did Alexa Bliss, obviously because of WrestleMania. We had to learn it. I mean, some of us didn't even know it. Our DJ is a huge WrestleMania fan too.
Yeah.
But that's how we met Jarrett. Guy was super rad. He actually asked me. He's like, "Hey man, do you have an acoustic electric by chance?" I think it got lost in luggage or something like that, and so I ended up bringing my acoustic electric. He played for the show, but we just had a really good relationship. It was a really good show. Super sweet guy. I mean, I don't know anyone that would say anything bad about that guy. Super hardworking and just super down to earth. And so, I mean, I think we just like kind of in passing, we're like, "Oh man, would you like to sing on one of our songs?" And he's like, "Sure." So,
Wow.
and it was literally that easy, just because he's a great guy. I think he really appreciates us too. I mean, he's given us quite a bit of compliments, so it's been great. But yeah, I mean, it's funny. Other people have asked us too, like, "Oh, how much you pay him? Like, what? Like, well, did you hit up his booking agent, or his manager, or what?" I'm like, I just asked him, and he said, "Yeah." So I'm not gonna say like that's as easy as it's gonna get for all these other people. But again, like I said, Emo Kids has really been affording us a lot of opportunities that I don't think we would ever have, right? So, and we're trying to do something really that's kind of never been done, and be in a
Yeah.
cover band and an original band at the same time, and really kind of thrive on the nostalgia and also look towards the future at the same time. So it's really cool. Honestly, all Jarrett Reddick asked us, he's like, "Hey man, just give a donation to Punk Rock Saves Lives and we'll call it even." So I was like, "Great,
That's
no problem."
amazing.
That's a rad trade off.
It's hard right now because our scene came back, and I don't think a lot of us maybe expected it. We're doing like kind of a classic rock thing or
Right.
whatever. And so it's hard sometimes to know who's being genuine and who is this just another bite of the apple for a cash grab or whatever. And so I know just from seeing other projects he's done, Jarrett does seem, pretty authentic, does like his sort of role as like the crazy uncle of the scene or whatever he is.
That's a good way of putting
And,
it.
and
Right?
yeah. And I've really enjoyed watching him work. And same thing, like Thomas and Nicholas. I remember seeing one of those like emo nights or whatever. I'm like, wait, the guy from American Pie is out doing emo nights. Like, what is
Yeah.
happening? And it's almost got to be for a love of the game, because you could be doing something else. And so that's pretty cool. And how did you guys end up recording with Jarrett then? Did he just do
Oh yeah.
everything in like a home studio? And
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that was the second part of your question. Yeah.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, I mean he does quite a bit of recording, and I mean I'm sure you've seen his social content. He does a
Yeah.
lot of stuff at his own house. I mean, so what I sent him over kind of the reference track, right? The whole track. I sent him the stems of his part specifically. I sent him the lyrics of his part specifically. And yeah, I mean, funny enough, I mean, you've obviously heard a lot of our other tracks, and maybe people have listened to it. Will probably listen to some of our other tracks too, and it kind of ranges, right? We have a good range. I've got time is definitely more on the metalcore side, right? I mean, Lost in Angeles, maybe more like pop rock. We have Roulette, which is almost like Southern rock, you know? Yeah, so he just kind of took it and did it by himself. I mean, it was kind of a process, I gotta say. I mean, so he's super busy, like I said. He was on tour like all throughout the summer. He was a Simple Plan, and it's funny. I'm like literally like looking at his tour schedule to like plan my text messages to him. I'm like, all right, he's off right now. I'm gonna text. I like put it on my calendar to like text him like 2 days after tour, so like he can get some like some time with his family and kind of decompress a little bit. So I like was strategic about hitting him up, but yeah, I mean, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it this week, and then something happened, or like I think he had some health problems too, like early in the summer, so he was like taking it easy. I think he even like lost his voice just before Warped Tour Long Beach, and he was still. I mean, you wouldn't even know, right? You wouldn't know like if you saw the show. So it was definitely a process. It was maybe from him saying yes to like actually doing it was maybe like 3 or 4 months. I can't even remember, but
Oh wow.
every time I was like, dude, like, are you sure you're still down? Like, I don't want to hold you to this. If you want to back out, it's totally fine. And he's like, no, man, I'm going to do it. Don't worry. I said I would do it. I'm going to do it. I'm like, dude, I'm giving you an out right now. You can just say no and wipe your hands of it. And no one will be mad. It's fine. He's like, I'm going to do it. I promise. Let me go on this tour. I'm going to do it in this date. And so actually, we were actually going to release Lost in Angeles after All My Exes, but we wanted to kind of like, keep momentum going with the release we had in June, I believe. I can't remember what month it was when we released the 3-song EP. Sam, maybe but
it was June because we filmed the Roulette video in May.
Okay, yeah. So we just kind of wanted to keep a little pedal to the metal a little bit. So we're like, all right, cool, let's pivot. We're gonna release Lost in Angeles first, and then All My Exes. And the funny thing is, we shot the video for All My Exes before we shot the video for Lost in Angeles.
Oh wow.
So we like shelved it and we're like, all right, now we got to film another music video. I'm like the cracking the whip on the rest of the guys. Unfortunately, they have to deal with me and my producer mentality. But yeah, so we ended up releasing Lost in Angeles, and then Jarrett finally was like, he finally had time to do it. But again, I was like, sure, it's totally cool. He's like, I got this. And funny enough, a little anecdote story here too, is the lyrics. We actually changed the lyrics slightly because of our music video concept and because Jarrett Reddick was in the video. So it wasn't the original lyrics to, exactly. It was just slightly changed. And the music video we're going to release the following Friday, which is the 21st. So we're going to release our music video on the 21st. But Jarrett Reddick is in the video. But he's not in the video at the same time. We actually, he was originally gonna be in the video and film some stuff, but he's like after the process of doing like actually singing the track, he's like, dude, I have no more time to do anything else. He's like, I don't even think I'm gonna do a feature for a while because I feel like I just dropped the ball for you guys. And I'm like, dude, you didn't at all. Like, we appreciate everything you do, anything you're doing, right? And so he's like, well, I can't be in the video, and I was like, well, like, I kind of have an idea, like, but I was scared. I'm like, I don't know what he's gonna say. I'm like, can we just like make you like an AI version of you in the video? And he's like, that would be awesome. He's like, I was actually gonna suggest that. You should totally do that. And like, I don't know anyone in the scene that would be like generous enough and just to like hand over his likeness to some band to like, good luck, go for it. And he literally hasn't even seen the video. I kind of sent him some stuff like, concept art and things like that, but he's just like, cool. So I think, I mean, you've obviously known him.
Yeah, who's out there saying manipulate my likeness however you see fit? Just
yeah. And that's the thing. It's wild how not only how chill he was about it, but like encouraging. He's like, do it, that'd be sick, And so I sent him stills of like of his AI character, and he's like, awesome, yes. And I think if you see his body of work, he's he's that guy, right? He's the guy that's like embracing technology, embracing trends, embracing memes. You kind of said it, the crazy emo uncle or whatever. I mean, that's such a great way of putting it. He's literally not, he doesn't take himself too seriously. I mean, obviously his band is the way that they are, but I don't think we would have had this opportunity to do it with anyone else. And he's collabing on all these posts. It's funny, actually, I sent him an email and I was like, hey, like, here's kind of like our pre-release content schedule. Like, obviously we'd love for you to collab on all of these things, but we understand you have like your own social cadence and posts that you need to get out, and we don't want to trip on that. So let us know if we need to shift any of these dates, or if you can only, collab on a couple of them. He's like, yeah, just collab on all of them. I'll accept him if I can. And so I think he's collabed on every single post that we've done to date. I'm not sure about the one tonight, but yeah, man, he's been super generous, and it's been great to work with him. I love that guy. I can't say enough good things about him.
That's amazing, and to know that he is that genuine. And there is so much there to unpack.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
really
no.
cool. But no, it's awesome. We have this thing called the Never a Phase Network, and we're a collective of creators, basically, that like lived in the scene. But one of the things that we're also trying to do is interact with a lot of the bands today and make a better version of the scene than we had. There were problems in our scene. We're all mostly grown up, and now as we're going to come back and there's going to be young people finding it, like, how do we make it better? I was really interested just to hear the little snippet, because there was an acknowledgement. You hear All My Exes, and it's like, oh, it's like another breakup song, another my ex that broke my heart.
Right.
But there's an acknowledgement of like, maybe I'm the problem. Is that indicative of the whole song, and is that part of the writing process? How did you get into this song?
Yeah, no, actually, that is really the crux of the song. I mean, I think I tend to like to write songs in a way that are kind of a new way to look at things, right? I mean, I wrote Lost in Angeles too, and that's the play on words of obviously Los Angeles, and how people look at clout culture and fame in general, and chasing their dream of trying to make it and just trying not to lose themselves. So I kind of twist things on their head that way. All My Exes was the same thing. It's like, yeah, everyone's always blaming their ex. I mean, you talk to your friends, they're like, oh man, she was crazy, or he was crazy, like F that guy, whatever. And I was like, well, I've had a lot of great exes. Like, honestly, like, I've always been the problem for sure. And so that's why I was inspired by it. I mean, unfortunately, it's a true story about me, and all. I've been blessed to have a lot of great women in my life, and yeah, I fucked up a lot of shit. So that's why it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek song, and yeah, it's all about how they're all amazing and I'm a crazy motherfucker. Yeah.
You already mentioned some of the diversity of your guys' music. You have the song like Roulette, where there's a lot of there was like gang vocals. I know some of your songs have real party vibes.
Right.
And then you obviously went a very different route with Lost in Angeles. I wanted to tell you like the bridge in My Coffin, feels like, so you go from everything from like the ripping guitars to the like heavy emotions. And I guess my real question is just like, what influences are you bringing in? Do you think that is from like covering so many bands that you're just across the whole genre?
No. I mean, honestly, I don't think we could help get away from it, right? Because we're playing songs like I shit you not, like literally we'll play Stacy's Mom, and we'll play also Duality in the same set, and we obviously we don't play them back to back. We have a flow to our set. We like to say, like, we start out poppy. We call it an emo roller coaster, right? So, but we play everything from the most poppy stuff to like the heaviest stuff in the scene, right? We'll play some Bring Me the Horizon, even. We'll play some System of a Down and Linkin Park. So it really does, I think, seep into our writing, right? Because we love this stuff. We have so much fun. We see how much fun people are having, and when we're now just in writing phase, we're like, oh, what about this? And you can't help it, like, that's always going through our heads. So it's funny, like you mentioned My Coffin and things like that. I'm like, oh, like if we did something like this, like a heavy, like under oath, like ending, like very, like, and so then there's other things where like, oh, that was very the starting line, or all these different things. And I'm still maybe not sure if we've exactly landed on a specific My Side of Paradise sound. I'm not sure if we ever will. We might just continue to just write what we feel, and you know, it just kind of feel like maybe there is just an amalgamation of all these artists that we grew up with and love. Maybe that's going to be the thing. Maybe we're going to kind of start to find ourselves and go into a specific direction. Maybe that's more poppy. Maybe that's more hard. I know that us, when we play Emo Kids, we love when it gets to the hard section. We go bananas on like the heavier stuff, like Pierce the Veil or A Day to Remember, things like that. We even play like Papa Roach. So we end up having a lot of fun during that section. So I know that a lot of us love the heavier side of things, but I've always been like a more poppy, chorusy type of writer, and I know that our other writer, Randall, our bass player, he's also like leaning more towards poppy. But I think a lot's gonna be found out, I think, in our next writing session as far as what direction we want to go. But we already have 2 demos. Almost done, and we're gonna probably, I mean, if you ask Steve, he wants to come out with like 10 from this writing section, so I'm like, nice. Wow, okay, who's the slave driver now?
It's never too late to be a ska band.
Oh god, no, that I don't think that'll happen.
Who was it? Ice Nine Kills started as a ska band, went the whole other way, and then
put out ska.
Really? Oh, they were a ska band, yeah, and then he
really?
put out They put out a song with, I think it was Real Big Fish. I'd have to look it up, but like
it's like the opposite of Aurora Wave.
Yeah.
But so you mentioned like A Day to Remember, because I remember I pulled up your guys' music and threw one on, and at first I was like, oh, it's got like A Day to Remember, like a neck deep thing or something going on.
Yeah, I like,
and then obviously, yeah, good. Okay,
good. That's good company. I'll take that.
It is. But then, like I said, Lost in Angeles has this real like tension building to get to the choruses and get to some of that release, which is, you know, not necessarily a staple of your more metalcore sounds or things like that. And so I just thought that was really interesting that as I'm listening, I'm going, well, oh, these are guys that spend their whole time playing the entire catalog. So of course there's going to be, you know, even like New Found Glory influences or whatever, or like you said, the Starting Line. And so that just makes a lot of sense. I really was struck because it's the latest single that was given to me with Lost in Angeles, and knowing that I have a friend within sort of our network of creators who is from SoCal, and we often talk about how we both experienced the same scene. But, you know, I had the Midwest, Ohio, the dark winters, you know, and all that kind of version of the emo and pop punk scene. And then there was the skater, surfer, SoCal kind of thing going on. Lost in Angeles talks, especially in the social media culture, about everyone just, like you said, wanting clout or looking for affirmation, I guess, just in like popularity or fame or whatever. I know, Sam, you had said you're not originally from SoCal. What is the makeup of the band in terms of SoCal? And is that something that you guys have been like fighting against your whole lives? Is that something you're experiencing as you're trying to come up in the band? Just the expectations that people put on you because of the geographic location?
No, I don't know. I would know less about the expectations, but it's 4-1 SoCal. So
technically 3-1. Technically 3-1. Jason's from Illinois.
Oh, that's right.
He's been out for a while. So, we're 3/5 Southern California. But I'll say this: like, maybe there has been, but I haven't really heard any as far as like expectations as far as what we should sound like. I mean, we're older too, so maybe that's a younger man's game. I mean, I know that. I mean, you kind of mentioned it too, like the scene back in the day. Maybe there was a little bit of that, right? But I just feel like people just want good music these days. I don't really think they're like, you sound, why are you sounding Midwest emo from Southern California? Like, no one cares. I think it's like, I want to hear good music, right? And I think, especially with Emo Kids, like people love all the cross-generational stuff that we're playing, all the like, again, we have a emo roller coaster. We call it an emo spectrum, right? That we we all the way from poppy all the way to heavy and everything in between. So, yeah, I've never really experienced any expectations. I mean, again, I think for us, we write what we're feeling and what we love, and hopefully we can continue to push ourselves and write some stuff that people are enjoying.
So when you're writing that song, is that more than about what you're seeing other people go through? Is that just more day-to-day life, not outside of music, just what you see in culture around you?
Oh, you mean so Lost in Angeles specifically, the lyrical content?
Yeah.
I mean, I think in general, man, we, you know, back in the 2000s, there wasn't such a social media blitz that there is right now, right? So I mean, you were like a band. You were usually like a local band. You'd play stuff. We would like add our stuff to MySpace. So we would hack HTML
Right.
to like get our music on there and like customize our page, right? So that's how old I am, right? Because that's what we were doing back then. And then
The
MySpace
glitter.
made, yeah, yeah,
The glitter background in the video, and it crashes the computer.
right, yeah. You just
The
one
downfall
little,
of MySpace right
yeah,
there.
one little thing you tweak and then the whole thing like breaks. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, then MySpace obviously catered to more to artists, right? And I think really MySpace was huge for the emo culture and the pop punk culture back in the 2000s. But I mean, and that was the beginning. That was it. There was no other. You didn't have to have a TikTok or an Instagram or a Facebook, or you didn't have to have all these different things. It was just like, I hope you come to my show, right? And then you'd like maybe pass your CDs out at like Warped Tour and stuff. So, but now it's like everyone has to be not only a musician but also like a content creator, right? And I think there's pros and cons to that, right? I mean, it's funny enough. We actually shot some content last night, but we always struggle with trying to be super authentic, super not trying to just do what everyone else is doing, just to do it. And I mean, and we kind of wrestle with that ourselves. Like, all right, well, like this is really doing well. This is trendy. Should we do that? Should we do our own spin on it? And it's just like, then there's like, then you have the images that are like the classic meme images, and you just kind of change the text for like something that you think. And I'm like, is that where we want to go? Is that who we want to be? And it's just a struggle. And I think that's what Los Angeles is about. I'm not saying I have the answer, right? I mean, that's where the line's
Right.
like, I can't judge. I want the same, should I escape before I can't be saved? It's just, that's really the whole crux of it. I'm not necessarily judging. I'm like witnessing what is going on. And people put on this persona, right? This polish about like how many fans they have or like who they know or this, that, and the other. I mean, Hollywood's always been Hollywood, but with social media now it's like a 24/7 thing where you have to always be on. It's not just like I have to be on for the red carpet and then you can just be yourself again. You have to be on social media 24/7, content, do things for likes, right? And it's like partly I think people are selling their souls to do some of this stuff, figuratively speaking, where it's like, oh, this is so cringe, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I think there's a lot of that. So I mean, it's something that we struggle with ourselves. Like, how do we want to portray ourselves? But I think in general, it's like, for bands to make it these days, you can't just have great music. You have to be marketing and brand aware. You have to be content creators, or be really, really insanely lucky, which is more rare than anything. So I think again, we started Emo Kids out of passion and love, and we honestly, most of us literally just do it for that. I mean, we make quite a bit of money in Emo Kids, but we spend quite a bit of money in Emo Kids because we're traveling across the country with 7 people. We have to rent cars, we have to fly or rent parking at airports. I mean, Sam does logistics, so he could go through it, but it's like we do this.
We'll be here all day.
We do this because we love it. I mean, honestly, it'd be way more financial gain for us to just have a USB stick and one of us travel to whatever place and pop it in a CDJ and press play. I mean, one of us would be reaping all the money, right? And then you could have a content team and whatever. But it's like we have 7 dudes that try to polish their craft as best as possible. We play our songs the exact same tempo, the exact same key. We have all the backing tracks. We pressure ourselves to have all the exact drum fills, all the exact melodies. So when people are hearing the songs, you're like, this is how I remember the song. And it's even the bands that themselves that wrote it, they'll play it faster, they'll change keys when they play it live. We don't do that. We play it exactly like you hear it on the album. So I mean, that's a roundabout way
Gerard's
of saying
not
it. Roundabout way of
Gerard's not
answering
starting
your
with that
question.
G note anymore. No.
Oh, dude. I will say, yeah, Welcome to the Black Parade is a gnarly high song to sing, and we
That is one we downtuned.
That is one of them that we
you
did.
did?
Yeah,
There you go.
Coheed too. Coheed is
Yeah,
one of the
I think
songs.
that's number 3. Coheed, The Kill, and
Complicated.
Oh,
Complicated.
Complicated. Yeah, that one too. Yeah.
And that's because of girl things. So give me a break.
Every time I talk to a band now or a musician, there is a conversation about whether it's producers, whether it's record labels or anything like that, basically wanting you to be a content creator first and a musician second. And now we're even seeing people who have sort of taken off as content creators, and they already have 1 million followers or whatever, and they become musicians because it's something to do. And like you said, I think there's an authenticity that gets
For
lost in
sure.
some of that. And then once again, if somebody only wants you, oh, well, if you had 50,000 more followers, then maybe we'd give you a shot. Then your whole
Yeah.
everything about you just becomes, how do I get that 50,000 followers or whatever the number is?
Yeah.
And do you think because you guys did the cover thing for, and you have that, I don't want to call it like a backup because it's obviously part of who you are, but because you have that base, do you think it makes it easier then to just be like, okay, well, My Side of Paradise is going to be exactly what we want it to be because we don't have to fully depend on this to be the only shot?
Right. Right.
And it's
No,
a
I mean,
credibility thing too. I mean, like, you know, like a lot of these people that become musicians or that are out there, and like, you know, they have the credibility of having a bunch of TikTok followers, so they can kind of do whatever they want. You know, if they want to go jump into a new hobby or figure out how to play guitar or sing, whatever they kind of can. And but yeah, if we didn't have emo kids, it would for sure be much harder to do any
yeah.
of the stuff that we're doing right
No,
now.
like I said, it's we're in a position, and we talk about this all the time in our bands. It's like we're doing something that I don't know if anyone's really doing at all. Where we're going out there and doing emo kids and growing this fan base in this genre, really this in the scene, right? And so that's what emo kids is. And we're like, and by the way, we have an original project, and I think we're definitely getting more eyes because of it, that we have emo kids. But it's honestly it's I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know how crazy it's gonna get. But I'll tell you this, like, because of the experience we have in emo kids, it is making My Side of Paradise a lot easier. But I'll say this too. Everyone in the band, I mean, we're older now too, but me and Randall specifically, like, we've worked in advertising and branding for our careers, like our actual careers. And so when we started Emo Kids, I was like, all right, brand first, let's nail the brand. Even when we're talking about band names too, or like, we didn't want to name it like emo band or like something emo night band or whatever it would be, like limiting to
Emo
like,
dads.
Emo dads was one thing we were talking about at one point, but like something that was about the scene as a whole and not like very specific, like, oh, this is a band, right? This is a band first. That's all they are. So that's why we have Emo Kids. That's why we our apparel. I mean, most of our apparel doesn't even say Emo Kids on it. It literally,
Right.
it's just like stupid sayings or whatever. But then we have the kids songs that we work on too. And then we have a podcast we kind of retooling as well. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a new and weird place. I mean, we obviously have connections with Jarrett Reddick and people in the scene because of Emo Kids. So it's really a very interesting mix. And even talking, you know, on podcasts like this, it's like, I mean, like, I'm like, do we talk about Emo Kids? Do we just talk about
Right.
My Side of Paradise? But it's like, I don't think you can really have one without the other right now. So it's very, very interesting.
They kind of inform each other, which is like,
Right.
I think, as we said, into your guys' songwriting process, you know, like I said, I listened to the tracks and it was almost like you had a couple different bands all at once. And I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
for the creative process, it keeps you guys from being locked in a box though, too, which I think is very good as you guys start once again writing more songs and expanding that songbook. I do want to take us into then, you know, we've been basically talking about it, but I said I can't have an emo podcast without hot topics. So this is my hot topics segment. I wanted to ask you guys about something that's important to shaping the scene and shaping the scene for the future. And that, for me, with you guys doing Emo Kids, was basically the emo revival, the nostalgia that comes back around. You guys have started, or you guys, I should say, you have this alternate identity as My Side of Paradise and then as Emo Kids, the National Touring Emo Tribute Act, I guess. And that's the part that I think I have a problem with. Like, are they tribute acts? Are they nostalgia acts? You know, you could have started a Pink Floyd cover band, but instead we're out doing this. Are we the new classic rock? Is this 80s night? Or is there something bigger, deeper happening under the surface?
Well, no, it's interesting you say that. I mean, we joke around on stage. Actually, we're like, "Hey, this is the '80s night for millennials," right? We joke about that on stage. I can't really maybe say too much about like the '80s necessarily, but my view is that the '80s wasn't like a scene; it was a decade, right? But like emo was a scene, right? It's not. We're not talking about the 2000s. We're talking about emo in the culture of the 2000s. So I think there's an interesting, you know, interesting dynamic there that like we're seeing kids that have grown up and we still have that scene foundation, right? And so it's funny you were kind of talking about this. I was playing like ice hockey once, and like I'm hearing the music. I'm like, it's fucking this is Yellow Card. This is all these bands that I'm like, oh shit. So I like skate over to the booth between periods, and I was like, hey man, like I love this track. So I'm like, how old are you? He's like 19. I'm like, gee, what? like all the songs he's playing existed before he was born, right? And so I think it's really crazy to us to see. I mean, maybe the same thing for us, right? We would listen to 80s music and classic rock and stuff like that in the 2000s. So it'd be like kind of the same thing. But now kids are latching on to what we grew up with. And it's really cool to see that. And we, obviously our age group too is where people are having kids, people are having families, and now they want to show their kids the stuff that they grew up on. I mean, same thing maybe for us. We're going on road trips with our parents and they're playing, I'm sure Sam, like Van Halen, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I think it is a little different because it's a scene and not so much surrounding a decade. And I'm really curious to see where this thing goes, but it really is fun to see, parents taking their kids to When We Were Young and Warped Tour and things like that. And we kind of are back and forth in regards to if we like doing all ages shows. And the reason we say that is Emo Kids is kind of a party band. So when you have the kids there, the vibe changes obviously a little bit, but also we love seeing kids there too. So it's like sometimes we're like, oh man, do we want to do an all ages show? But sometimes we're like, man, those kids' lives were changed, right? We have kids come up on stage. We have, members giving them drumsticks and our Emo Kids picks and stickers and things. And they're just like, their eyes are getting wide, like, oh my goodness, it might be a core memory for them. And for us, it's like another Friday night, but it's really cool to see this next generation growing up. And that's why, I mean, one of the things Steve, one of our guitarists, is like, hey, I have this idea. Let's make some like kids songs in the style of like the pop punk and emo that we grew up with. And a couple of us in the band have kids. And I was like, dude, that's amazing. So we're actually going to be releasing a full album of kids songs next year as well in different styles. And we kind of like have each song tailored after like a specific song or artist, and you can kind of like play around and figure out what it is. But we'll have like Wheels on the Bus, like we have out. It's Itsy Bitsy Spider, Monkeys on the Bed, Old MacDonald, or whatever it is. So, but like in the pop punk style. And I have a son myself, and I was just sick of hearing all the beep bop bop like whatever like songs on repeat over and over again. So I'm like, please, this is a great idea to keep my sanity. So, yeah, no, it's beautiful thing for this scene, and I hope to see it is continuing to grow. But one of our our mission statements in Emo Kids is celebrating all things emo, and we're hoping to not only celebrate the past but also grow towards the future.
Yeah, someone with kids who are little brooding pop punkers, coming up, like that sounds. I can only listen to so much Blippy and Danny Go and stuff like that. I'm ready.
That's what it was, Blippy. I was like, what is that? Boppy, Blippy, whatever.
As we do emo revival and stuff like that, how do people react then at an Emo Kids show? Like what are you seeing, whether it's from the adults or whether it's from young people? They come into your experience. You said you're kind of a party band.
Yeah.
What happens? How does the crowd react when you're doing all these songs that for a lot of people were from the transformational time in their life? Like what emotions do you think they're going through?
Oh man, they're losing their minds. Honestly, I mean that's one of my favorite parts about Emo Kids is you go to an artist that you like. And it's like, oh man, I really hope they play this one song. Or they always end with the one song, or they have, sprinkled in through the set some of your favorite songs. But you're not getting hit in your head. I always say we just hit people in the head song after song of just like bangers that they absolutely love. So, I mean, we've had people say like, this is the best show I've ever seen. Like, and that's it. Like, and they'll look at us like deadpan, like this blew my mind. And it's like, it's very humbling. We're like, wow, well thank you. We didn't write any of this stuff, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Encore. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like literally
encore. Yeah.
Encore from the opening song to the last song. It's just all encore songs. So yeah, it's a lot of fun seeing people lose their minds and seeing little kids sing it. But yeah, I mean, we are definitely known for being a party band. So the 21 and up shows go pretty hectic.
And do you think To speak once again about like if we're expanding, you mentioned, we're talking about a very specific scene. Do you feel like most people that come to see you are authentic? We were in the scene, we were the emo kids, or is it more a time capsule? We mentioned it
Dude,
not being 80s night. Do you still have the time capsule, folks?
dude, I love that I love that you asked that. It's funny. I mean, you kind of mentioned this earlier, but I'm sure you've heard that saying where it's like there were not that many this many emo kids in
Yeah,
high
right.
school, like right? The
And you, and
jocks
we,
the jocks secretly
the,
liked this shit, right? The jocks really
so-
liked it, and like the nerds, like everyone listened to it, but it was like the emo kids that like really embraced the music and the culture and whatever. And now like all those people that maybe were not specifically emos or pop punkers, they all heard Blink 182, they all heard My Chem, they all heard these bands, and they probably enjoyed it. They just didn't like go full send as you would say. So I
as
mean,
the kids say.
it's
Yeah.
great. It's great seeing the crowds that come out. I mean, I don't know if they were cheerleaders in high school. I don't know if they were scene stirs or not. But I mean, it's really cool to at least to see it really uniting people. And I mean, there's a lot of things that divide people, I think, in this country and across the world. And we try to just keep it all about the music, and you don't know what the person next to you feels like about politically or socially or whatever, and it doesn't matter. To us, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's all about the music. It's all about the fun. It's all about uniting for something that we all love.
That's awesome. Yeah, looking the way I do, I often joke when I'm making emo content, and I'm like, there are way too many really, really good-looking people making emo content on the internet. Like, I was there. This wasn't happening, and so I do worry about like authenticity and things like that. But I think you do make a good point that there were a lot of people who maybe because it was a scene felt like uh, they were, we were gatekeeping. Of course we were.
No, for sure.
And as much as we want to say, oh, well, the jocks and the cheerleaders or preppies or whatever, they were mean to us. Like we put the gate up real hard. If the jock all of a sudden was like, oh well, I like that My Chemical Romance
Right,
song. Oh,
right.
can you name 3 songs by My Chemical Romance? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, that
And
makes
so I
sense.
do
I mean,
think,
maybe it was our fault that that they didn't
you
partake in our
know,
scene as much as they wanted to. Maybe.
I mean, I just think that as human beings, everyone likes to like find their little community and cluster and then close the door behind them essentially. Like I'm the last one that can find it, and then it's not cool anymore.
Sure, sure.
But I think it's interesting that you say that because I do think within our generation, like comparing it to like once again, I'm comparing it to genre or decades here, but like the way that like hair metal is remembered for the 80s or whatever. When people think of the music that sort of changed people and it was that coming of age, I do think they default to emo, like or pop punk, at least with the people. I'm sure there's hip hop and things like that other people connected with. But for my neck of the woods, when people think of those songs, those are the songs they carry with them. And you guys get to go out and live that every night you go out, which is really really cool. Um, when you do go out, I guess my question is though, what is the most beloved stuff? Like everything gets people going. Like you said, it's encore after encore.
Yeah.
But what do people request, or what really blows the roof off? What are you
Shit.
seeing?
I
No,
think
well,
the requests and what blows the roof off are two totally different things. I think that the heavy stuff that we
Oh,
play,
really?
nobody really expects because we play it like later in the
yeah.
show, and then that's when they kind of get the most crazy. But no, we don't really get a whole lot of requests for heavy songs. It's just kind of like the bangers,
Yeah.
and then I
Okay.
don't know. That's my experience, I guess.
Well, one of the things that we do, and I think it's probably not as widely known as I would like, but emo kids, before we go to any place, any country, or sorry, any country, any
Sorry.
state, any state.
International.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
we're
right.
we're going international. I mean, mark my words, we're gonna go. But any state that we go to, any city we go to, we actually have a link where people can vote on our set list to every single place. So like I shape our set list based on the votes that we get. And some places like they're very aware of it and they will vote on it. Some places are not aware of it, so we don't get a lot of votes. But I mean, so that's kind of the way we do get requests. But I'll say this, it's always a battle, and we always kind of talk through this in the band. We're like, new songs we want to add, right? Because we could just tour the country and just play the same 25, 30 songs every show. And for every person that sees us, it'd be fine, right? For me specifically, I would go bananas. I would go nuts playing the same set every single show. But like I'll keep track of songs that we play in a town, and then the next time we hit the town, we'll play a different set list completely. Um, but we also like again try to keep it to what people vote for. But we always debate in our group like, oh, would this song hit? Would this song hit? Would this song hit? And I think originally when we first started, we just kind of played songs that we liked and what we thought would be good. And some songs would obviously slap, like Ocean Avenue, right? And then
Right.
some songs wouldn't. And we're just like, how, like the starting line, right? Like we play Best of Me, and that song, it's okay. Some people enjoy it, and some people blank stares. Favorite House Atlantic by Coheed is same thing. Some people like it. Some people don't know it at all. And it's like, for us, it's like, oh my God. We always say this. If we just built a set list of all of our favorite songs in the scene, like we got a lot of blank stares. We would get a lot of blank stares. We also like probably wouldn't get people to our shows, and so it's unfortunate that we kind of have to play the lowest common denominator, right? We it's funny, we call it the Kelly test because we have this neighbor named Kelly, and she was like the casual emo fan, right? So if Kelly knew it, oh, it's gonna slap. But if Kelly doesn't know it, like we can't play it because you're gonna have half the audience is lost, right? But one of the things that we like to do is we have a live vote at our show. It's called the Deep Cut Vote, where we actually let the crowd vote on songs that aren't the usual bangers, right? So we kind of get to like play songs that are a little bit more obscure than like the Misery Business or again the all the small things, right? Those are kind of these staples in bands like Fall Out Boy, right? So we do get an opportunity to actually live vote at our shows. But kind of going back to that, like we find it really funny about what you may call like the emo police, right? We sometimes get into
Right.
fights. We'd sometimes get into fights or arguments or whatever, like the disagreements online. That's not emo, right? Someone sees our poster or our video ad or
Yeah.
something like that. And it says it has like bands that will play, and they're like, where's the emo bands, right? And it's like, well, I mean,
You
if
said
we literally
You said
if we
Papa
literally
Roach, and like my heart dropped. Like no,
right.
right, no.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. So it's like we'll have
Yeah.
people like if we just played real emo band, like no one would come to those nights. No one would come to those shows. And so it's like now it's I think for the most part, unless you're the emo police, like most people are fine with that spectrum of emo music from like All American Rejects to Pierce the Veil. Like everyone's fine with there being a spectrum of what we consider emo. We understand that some of that is pop punk. We understand that some of that is more, maybe even bridging on new metal or post hardcore or whatever it is. But we all kind of accept that it's emo. But it's funny, seeing people like that and how they react. But I mean, I mean the bangers we have. I mean, Sugar, We're Going Down always slaps. Helena, I'm Not Okay. I Write Sins. What else? Those are always among our closers, or we have very few openers. I have it so dialed in now where it's like a science. Where like, here's the songs we can open with, here's the songs we can close with, here's the songs we kind of want to hit in the middle, and literally I like even programmed like some code to like try to hack a set list together to like kind of go through, like save myself some time. It didn't actually work that great, but now I've kind of have it dialed in a different way where I can build them out that way. But I mean, I could go on forever, like Sam said, like the songs that slap, the songs that don't, but it's always frustrating to us. We're like, I wish we could play this more, and it's just, we're gonna get blank stares.
So just for I think a lot of my audience will probably be deeper cuts folks. Just for curiosity, what is on the deep cut voting list? Like, what do you consider deep cut? I assume based on what
Oh
you just
man,
said, we're not dropping Mineral and Texas is the Reason, but
no,
like,
no,
so
no.
what are we what are we getting into that is deeper for the folks that are going to come out
Oh man,
to emo kids?
Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows.
yeah.
Really?
Dude,
Oh no,
it's on. Yeah, that's
my
what I'm saying.
heart.
I don't even want to tell you, man, because it's gonna break your heart. I mean, that's the thing. What we call deep cuts, I wouldn't call deep cuts. That's the thing.
Yeah, right.
It's like the Best of Me is like that's not a deep cut, and I
That's
always
not a
get
deep
frustrated.
cut.
Like, how do you guys not know this song? I get
Well,
frustrated up on stage. But yeah, let me look through this. Sam, I don't know if you have anything else. Like everything
I
is
mean,
all right.
we throw some of the kids' songs on there, like Itsy Bitsy Spiders.
Oh,
on
there you
there a
go.
lot.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
like
Well,
like Hands Down is on there. Like because
oh, really?
that doesn't slap every time. We used to be on our main set list, and people were like, "What's this?" Like Everything Is All Right, Motion City soundtrack.
Hmm.
What else we got here? Like My Friends Over You, like New Found Glory, like what? Yeah, things like that. It's Punk Rock Princess, right? And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to tell you this. You smile in your sleep. Like
Yeah,
those songs are
that
like
hurt. Yeah, That does hurt me. You're
I
right.
could go
That
on.
does.
I could go on. I mean, I would put on like I would put on Let Her Kills and stuff, or like Armor for Sleep. I would do that, but like no one's gonna, you know.
It's more of a genre deep cut than for like the casual listener than an artist deep cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to special request at some point the like emo kids gatekeeper night or whatever, where we just do the deep cut list, and then the real ones will come out. You know,
it's we've talked about that. We've honestly talked about doing like kind of theme nights where we just do deep cuts that we love, right? And I think the biggest issue, and I always talk about this with the guys, is I'm like, I would love to do that, but the amount of time and energy that we put into building sets and learning songs perfectly, it's just mind-boggling. I think if there was more return in it, if we literally could maybe had like one place, like let's say LA or New York or wherever it is across the country, that like we knew this would sell out or whatever, we would totally do it, because I think for us we would love it. But again, we build backing tracks for everything. We learn all the harmonies, all the drums, everything 100% perfect to. Oh yeah, and then so Sam programs lights to every single song.
That's why these are all here. So it takes like 2 to 2.5 hours per song to build a light show.
Yeah, so
you're not just walking out there with an acoustic guitar and being like,
no, it's some work. It's some work.
We really pride ourselves in being super high quality, high polish for every single song that we do, and so I think it would have to be. And when we talk about learning new songs, there's a bunch of songs that like studying politics is a song that we really want to do. I've wanted to do that forever. I just don't think I don't think people are going to care as much as I want them to care. So
I came up in like the tooth and nail world and stuff like that. And I remember I was doing like, content that was, basically like a March Madness, March Sadness thing. And I thought like Emery's going to go deep because the people who love Emery really love Emery. And then I was like, oh, nobody knows who Emery is anymore. And I shouldn't say nobody does, but when you're looking at the broader scene and the people who are involved with it now, Emery does become kind of a deeper cut. So I can see there not being as much of a return. If you started playing Studying Politics, I would freak out, but there might be like 10 of us.
But, and that's the thing, right? Like when we play some of these deeper cut songs, you have the people in the audience that are like losing their minds, like, oh my, I would never expected to hear this, at this show. And then the 70% of the rest of them being like, what is this? And they see
what's happening now.
They see the people losing their minds. They're like, should I know this song? Because they're like,
I should know this song.
Screaming their hearts out, right? They love it so much. So yeah, it's very heartbreaking, the songs that people don't know, the songs that we will probably never get to play because no one will ever know them. But like I said, if we made a set list of just our favorite songs, it would be completely different.
Well, it's funny to say because basically all this started. I wasn't on TikTok until, post-COVID, like a lot of people, but I was working with like some teenagers essentially who were talking to me about emo coming back. And I was like, emo? Like emo? And then they started describing what they thought emo was. And they're basically describing like e-girl, furry kind of culture. And then, of course, like dropped like MGK. And now with me and my crew, like we appreciate MGK. MGK did a great service by promoting pop punk and emo, but like that is not my go-to. Like this is what emo is, so it became kind of interesting to see how it was sort of coming back, but that wasn't the emo I thought about. And it's almost like a bunch of emo kids from back in the day were all of a sudden like, oh, we're back, and then just like flooded the scene again, and then it really came back after that.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was an excuse for us all to be like, let's go, baby. We're back. I mean,
we're back.
I feel the same way about MGK. I'm not sure if you actually heard our song from Emo Kids. It's called Emo Since 2005. We actually did a 1985 parody from Bowling for Soup, but it's all the lyrics are literally revolving around emo since 2005. And in the chorus it says, since the Rejects and Mayday, we don't count MGK.
There you go.
So I mean, he's kind of like maybe the joke in the genre. Like, okay, that's not real emo, but I mean, again, for emo police and gatekeeping, it's like a lot of people can say certain things aren't emo that I would say like, it's emo enough.
And like I said, I have a complicated relationship with like what MGK did, but he was flying the flag when I feel like nobody else kind of
Sure.
was anymore, and gave permission maybe.
Yeah.
And I'll just throw this just because you talk about like the who defines the deep cuts. One of my early things was discussing like what is the emo anthem, like what is the one song that brings us all together. And I made a video, and it's just funny to watch people's reactions because I say "You're So Last Summer" by Taking Back Sunday, and specifically the line, "The truth is you can slit my throat, and with my one last gasping breath, I'd apologize for bleeding on your shirt." And just like you're saying, the people that knew, the people who that is the line,
We should add that song,
like,
man. That'd be great.
they come out of the woodwork. But to your point, I feel like for what you guys are talking about, if you just started playing that song, I feel like a lot of the room would be like, "Wait, what are we doing right now? Like, what's happening?"
Yeah,
That's not because that's not even the Taking Back Sunday song they know, let alone the emo song they know.
honestly, that song is so good though.
Oh, it's so good, it really is.
Probably Ohio is for
but-
Lovers would probably be the one, honestly, right?
Well, okay,
us.
it's funny that you mentioned that because what I like to do when I talk to my musician friends and have people on the show is at the sort of tail end here, I like to sort of gauge where we are in the scene and how my experience compares with your experience with just a few questions that I call the Never a Phase Q&A. And that is my first question for you guys today. When you're playing with emo kids, what is the better cover? Is it Cute Without the E, or is it Ohio is for Lovers? And I think Sam gave me his answer.
Well, it depends on
what you mean.
What
Depends
do
what
you
you
mean by
mean.
better?
Yeah. What
Better
goes over better?
reaction, let's say that. Yeah.
Oh man, Ohio is usually towards the end of our set. People go fucking bananas. I mean, I don't think we've ever played Cute Without the E in the second half of our set. It's usually it's either an opener or pretty early on, or like maybe in the midway point. But yeah, Ohio is for Lovers is, I think, honestly a lot of times part of our encore even. So it's I would say, and that's the thing. I think Taking Back Sunday, at least in my opinion, Taking Back Sunday had more of a breadth of great songs, I think. But I think it didn't ever rise maybe to the level of that song. Ohio's for Lovers is, I mean, it's a quintessential emo song. I mean, again, you put those in line with I Write Sins, Welcome to the Black Parade, I Miss You by Blink-182. I mean, there's these songs that are just generational defining songs. I think that it's definitely up there. So yeah, I would say I'm with Sam. Ohio is probably the one.
Uh-huh. Well, and I think Hawthorne Heights did themselves a lot of favors because they did fly the flag for a long time. When everyone else was like, "Oh, we're not emo," Hawthorne Heights is like, "Oh, we're totally emo. We're absolutely emo."
Yeah, it used to be a diss or like something that there's supposed to be like, "Oh man, that you're emo," like. But yeah, I think a lot of people like embrace that, and especially now, it's like, yeah, we and that's one of the reasons why we called the band Emo Kids, because like, yeah, in high school it's like, oh, those are the emo kids, right? And they were throwing shade. While we're like, yeah, we are. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, that's the way we embrace the moniker Emo Kids.
My next question for you for the Q&A here is: you guys said you've played basically all over the country, everywhere with Emo Kids. Now you're playing with My Side of Paradise. What's your favorite venue? What's the best place you played?
Well, it's coming up, right, Sam? Probably.
I mean, I have three off the top of my head that I can.
I think
name,
we all
but,
have
yeah,
the same three.
yeah, it's probably Oktoberfest in San Diego, wherever that fucking venue was.
That's new. That was the new one we just did.
That's new. Yeah, Bethlehem Steel Stacks in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and then but our collective favorite is Hawaiian Brian's in Honolulu. We're headed back there. We're actually landing 3 weeks from today.
I gotta say this though, like Tally Ho in Virginia was It's a place that we just played maybe a couple months ago, and they showed up. I mean, some of these towns we'd like never been to before, and like that was great. We're actually playing there again in January because we just had so much fun. The crowd was amazing. But yeah, I think the only other one I would add, I mean, we had a lot of fun at Hi-Fi in Indiana. We haven't been able to go back. I don't know if we went this year or we went early January this year, right?
We played the indoor stage in January.
Yeah, so the outdoor stage at Hi-Fi Indy, which I think is no longer open. I think now they're opening up a bigger indoor stage. But that was a lot of fun when we got to play out there. But yeah, I don't think any other one. I really like the Boatyard in Cornelius. I like
that place too. That place
it's not terribly big, but yeah, it's a fun venue.
Now, Sam, I got to ask though, when you say Honolulu, Is it the venue or is it just that it's
Yeah.
Honolulu?
See, that's always what people ask. That's always,
Yeah.
and you know what? It doesn't hurt.
It's
that
both.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
both, but it's the venue. The venue, like the crowd shows up,
Oh,
and the
man.
venue is all like the staff is amazing, but also it's like one of the most state of the art places that we've ever played.
Yeah.
Like they know what they always keep upgrading their audio and their lighting. The people running it are not just like sitting there for a paycheck. Like they actually enjoy the hell out of what they're doing,
Yeah.
and they're really good at it.
We love
And
all of them.
It's a blessing to work with like Lee, the owner, and then his entire crew out there. It's we look forward to it. Like we play there, we've kind of been on a cadence of twice a year, and like the day after we play, we're already looking forward to coming back.
Yeah, and it's honestly not, it's the venue, the location, but also the crowd is insane. And as you can imagine, like the military presence on Oahu is pretty strong, and so it's one of the only places in the country that we even do military discounts because of such a huge presence of military. We're like, let's get these guys out, let's get them a discount. And they always show up. They always go bananas. I mean, as you can imagine, they love the heavy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've made a few points about the fact that I'm the Midwest kind of emo. You guys got the SoCal going on, so I do have to ask, what should I order from In-N-Out?
Oh shit! I'm basic as fuck with In-N-Out. It's the double with fries, but you got to get the strawberry milkshake with it.
Strawberry milkshake.
My order is
Strawberry milkshake.
just a cheeseburger with grilled onions, and I also
Oh yeah, you got to get the grilled onions.
I also get a grilled cheese with grilled onions, which what that is pretty much the same thing as a cheeseburger without the meat. I just love the sandwiches and the spread, so I'll get one actual burger and one just like not non-burger, but it's pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the fries. But yeah,
Not animal style fries, or
I mean, I'll eat the animal style fries, but I mean, as far as fries go, I'm a McDonald's guy. I like McDonald's fries are like crap.
Well, I got to say, Ryan, before you came on, Jordan and I were talking about what I want to eat this evening because I haven't been able to eat dinner yet, and
oh no,
I
holding
think
you up.
I was honestly I had some Trader Joe's pasta, like the frozen shit, like the gnocchi that I could like kind of like throw on the stove, and that would honestly be good, but In-N-Out might have just beat that just because of you. Yeah,
Sam's going to In-N-Out now.
I
Nice.
might be going In-N-Out now.
I got to speed this up. You guys play some of the biggest bangers and most beloved songs of the emo scene and pop punk scene. What lyric, in your opinion, makes the best aim away message?
What lyric? Aim away message. Oh my god, that's a good one. Man, I used to do that too. I gotta
Yeah.
think for a second.
We all did, man. We all did.
Honestly, like I think I was old enough to do like the leave a message and I'll call you back, like from No Doubt. Honestly,
Walking in the spider webs, man.
I'm that old.
In the same spirit, do you have one of the songs that you play that, or maybe that you don't play because it doesn't hit, that is your personal emo anthem? That is the one that, like, if you had one desert island song that you would play?
Oh man, dude, I would probably go insane if I heard one song, even my favorite song, over and over again. I wouldn't want to kill it.
What's
I
your
wouldn't
what's your favorite one to play then? What's your favorite one to play?
Oh, King for a Day. King for a Day is my favorite by far.
Oh, there you go.
And it's funny because that's like younger emo. That's like
I would say
2010s, right?
I was gonna say I consider that new, but I don't want to look at when it actually came out because it'll make me feel even older.
Right. No, I mean, honestly, I had kind of heard the song, but we kept getting requests to do it, and we're like, okay, let's see what this song's about. We're all, besides Sam, we're all like late 30s, and so we all. I mean, I had to learn the lyrics as the singer. All of us had to like really study the song. But it's not my favorite song to listen to. I mean, I don't even know really what I would consider my favorite song to listen to, but it is so much fun to play. When that drop hits, everyone goes bananas, and we all just lose our minds. It's just one of those songs. It's just we all just lose our minds. So I don't know what about you, Sam?
It was One Step Close. Well, I mean, I guess my favorite song to play live was One Step Closer, even though it's not emo. But my new favorite, my new favorite, we're actually playing for the first time on Saturday at our show in Ventura. Pretty Handsome Awkward by The Used.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a good one.
Oh my god! Like when I learned it and started practicing it, I'm like, oh, this is for sure gonna be my new favorite. And I knew it was gonna be fun to play beforehand, but we jammed it for the first time last night, and I was like, oh man, keep going, let's do it again.
It's pretty impressive too, man. Honestly, I got to brag about the band a little bit, but like I'm just a singer, right? in this band, right? So, but everyone shows
That's
up.
what he says when he has to load shit too.
Yeah, exactly. I use that both. I'm just a singer, guys. I don't know how to pick up things. No,
I'm only the lead singer. I have a microphone.
yeah. So I mean, honestly, we show up and everyone just knows their shit. We play like literally. We play with obviously backing tracks into a click and things like that. So I hit the space bar. We play this song, played it through all the way, and like I would say, giving it like a 98%. Like we like crushed it the very first time we ever played it together. And I think it's just a testament to like the musicians I get to work with. Everyone's like super on top of it. But yeah, it's that one's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited to play that song, and that's the thing. I'm actually genuinely curious how it's gonna do. I think it's a great song, but like we played like Buried Alive sometimes, and like we don't really play that much anymore because again it was one of those like getting some blank stares, and every once in a while we play Taste of Ink too to like some blank stares, and it's like what? So I'm genuinely curious how it's gonna go, but either way, it's a fun song to play for sure.
I want to close you guys out here and just ask you, man, for people who are just discovering the originals, what song by My Side of Paradise, if we're going to tell people, hey, man, go listen to this song and it'll show you that we're the real
Man.
deal, which one would you tell them?
I don't think you could listen to one of our songs right now and be like, I got them figured out. You know what I mean? Because I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if we have us figured out because we're just like, we love all of the stuff that we play. And it's really, again, genre bending, genre all encompassing or whatever. I mean, yeah, it depends on who you ask in the band. Sam, what would you say? If someone's like, you got one song to listen to for My Side of Paradise, what would you say?
Probably I've Got Time.
Yeah.
Huh?
Maybe. Yeah, just it's got a lot of it's got a little bit of everything except for Lost in Angeles in it.
I think that's probably maybe our collective North Star, maybe of the songs that we've released. Like I don't think we're going to release a lot of Lost in Angeleses, right? We're not going to release a lot of My Coffins. We're not going to release a lot of All My Exes. I think that's definitely on the more poppy side. Same thing with like Promises Burned. Roulette was more on the party rock side of things. I think definitely where we lean, I think our sweet spot's going to be the mix of the poppy and the heavy together. I think that's so. Yeah, I think I agree with Sam. I've Got Time is probably it.
I've been very impressed with your work, and I can't wait to hear the Jarrett Reddick All My Exes song. I think it's going to be really great, and probably should help take you guys to the next level and see where it goes from here. Since you're going back into songwriting, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, I hope I appreciate you having us on, and hope good things happen. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun. We love this genre. That's why we do Emo Kids. Is we just want to see this genre thrive and grow, and we love all the people in it. And yeah, with our original music, sky's the limit. We'll see where it goes, but it definitely helps getting to talk with people like you on your podcast. So can't thank you enough. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Thanks so much, Ryan.
No problem. Let's tell everyone where they can find you, what they should be looking for, socials, et cetera, et cetera. Plug away, boys.
Yeah, pretty much everything we have is on purpose is My Side of Paradise Music. So .com, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the same handle, My Side of Paradise Music. Check out All My Exes featuring Jarrett Reddick from Bowling for Soup. The guy is amazing. Hope you like the song. Can't wait to hear what you guys think. But also, the music video releases next week, the 21st. And Sam actually said that the music video makes him think it's his favorite song now. So,
it is, yeah. It used
go.
to be my least favorite. I actually wrote the hook for the guitar part for it, and I thought it was going to be my favorite, and then it became my least favorite. And after watching the music video and hearing Jarrett's vocals on it, I think it's my new favorite now. So I'm stoked.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. And yes, go listen to All My Exes. This is My Side of Paradise. This show is a part of the Never a Phase Network, a collective of creators dedicated to keeping the spirit of the scene alive. Our network of creators make social media content, they share music news and reviews, and of course bring you great podcast content. For more information, please visit neveraphasenetwork.com and follow Never a Phase Network on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.